constantly thinking on how to land with complete fierce accuracy that one knockout punch. And every fight he's been in, he succeeded.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to take those accumulation blows, he'll do that to you too. But his game plan is okay. He's not the biggest guy at 135. He's gonna always had a shorter arms. But the difference is he's willing to get in there and engage and mix it up. It's weird. Even though he's not as quick a foot and he's a little bit more plodding, he reminds me of Pacquiao in the sense of he always has the shorter arms, but he really understands angles. He understands how to get into his punching range. And one thing that's special about him is if he can't get you cleanly, he will take a punch or two to land that devastating punch. That number one, that takes balls. Number two, that takes a high amount of skill, because once you get, if you've ever been hit, where you end up and where you are to land that counter shot is completely different as if you don't get hit at all. So that, to me, that's the most amazing thing that he does. If you look at Leo, people say, well, he made a mistake. He threw 3 straight right hands. Yeah, those straight right hands were landing. And that's the best punch. And that's the best punch you can land against a southpaw. But Tank set him up. And people don't give him credit for his IQ. Bam, barely missed the first one. Nailed him on the second one. Third one, Tank. And then people look at it, you think, okay, how did he not see that windup? Because the way Tank did his body. He could not see the left hand. He had it out. And then what he did was he boom, and then bam, came all the way through with the uppercut.
He tucked it and he moved. He slipped.
He tucked it.
And he tucked his own punch.
And
threw that motherfucker. He reached up to the ceiling and he grabbed it.
Exactly. That wasn't a wild punch. That wasn't an out of control punch. That was and the thing is, what makes him special to me out of all the fighters is he's a guy who throws something with, absolute venom. And that's an uppercut. Uppercut is the worst punch you could throw if you miss, because you are fully exposed for a counter shot.
Absolutely.
To have that amount of confidence and to throw that knockout punch and to be that accurate is phenomenal skill, high IQ, and toughness. And he's going to be, to me, he's the toughest out in that division by far. Haney's a great boxer, but the problem is all it would take is one good clean shot to nail that.
I think so. For me, I think what Tank does with his skill set is he knows he can box, but he uses his boxing to throw power punches. Like he doesn't box. Like he gets everything done so he can get close enough just to hurt you. And you can see it when he fought Santa Cruz. To me, in my opinion, you could see, he's using boxing to break him down.
Yeah.
He's using boxing to break him down. Like he doesn't care about the shots that's landing. Like he can take that. But for him, he's using his boxing skill to get inside and break him down. And by around round 3 or 4, you start seeing the punches land to the body. And Leo would step to the side, or he would look at him and smile. Like, there you go. There you go. We're not gonna be here for too much longer.
Right.
We're not gonna be here for too much longer. So when Leo started telling him, come on, bitch, walk in. And I was like, okay, there we go. That's what we want to see, because now that's when he started throwing the right hook. The right hook is going around the gloves. He hitting him in the side of the face. I was like, yep. Yeah. The right hook lands, and then he throws a straight left to the body. I was like, yeah, here it come. Yeah. And slowly but surely, you saw it. That pressure that only certain fighters can put on you that'll make you crack.
The pressure, and also what's lost is, and then Pacquiao gets a lot of credit for this, the angles that he creates. But Pacquiao gets the angles because of his sheer foot speed. Tank gets the angles because of his pressure. And he gets there, and it's not the quickest, but he's there. He's right up on you. And the other thing that he does that's crazy is that his ability to lure a guy in, get him overconfident. Leo got overconfident. A lot of fighters you see, they think they can hang in there, they get overconfident.
Pedraza, all those guys.
Bam. It's almost like he hypnotizes them, right? It's like the little snake at the end of the basket.
Look, we can talk about Quasia, Pedraza, all those guys. Even when the guy I think it was Pedraza that was hitting him, and he tapped his chest, told him to throw some more, and the guy hit him. And next thing you know, he threw a shot. I was like, yeah, you don't do that.
No, you don't do it. You don't do it. And we obviously know because Tank has a chin. Yeah. Tank can take a shot. And so, I think that's just a crazy, he's the toughest fight. Deb, I think, is, from what I've seen, the best pure boxer
Exactly.
I need to see Ryan Garcia. I mean, the Flash looks good. He definitely has at that weight division. He has the most physical advantages. He's 5'11". He's very tall for the division.
Ryan Garcia is.
Ryan Garcia is 5'11".
Man, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's 5'11". So when you think about that, you know, Ryan, he's got all the physical advantages. He's got tremendous hand speed. You know that much. And so yeah, it's it's absolutely nuts. His ability and what he can do.
The fastest of them. I think
he definitely has the fastest. He's quicker than Hayden. He's about a tick.
It's not much
than Hayden. Not much.
It's
not much, but it's there, and he's definitely the longest guy.
And he seems to want to smoke. Ryan Garcia. He seems to want to be involved with that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Involved with everything. I saw him.
Yeah, I
saw him tweet. He said, "I don't give a fuck what nobody say." Not, I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah,
he said, "I'll take on Tank Davis. That don't stop me from winning that fight."
Yeah, I think Tank would knock Ryan off, and there's one big weakness I see in Ryan Garcia that he's gonna have to do. When Ryan Garcia throws his punches, he never takes his head off the line. It's always like when he punches. Even when he, you know, especially when he doesn't get his head off the line. His head is always there. If you look at when Leo got hit, Leo normally gets his head off the line, but Tank again, high IQ, he mesmerizes you. You get overconfident. Leo threw that straight right hand. He didn't get his head off the line. And so if you fight a guy like Tank Davis and you don't get your head off the line, he's gonna knock it off.
And bro, to be honest, I don't think. When he threw that shot, I don't think there was nowhere to really go. When Tank threw that shit, there wasn't nowhere to go.
Well, to me, you know what would have helped?
It was a lazy
Leo. There was no variance on his straight right hands. He could have learned from the school of Bernard Hopkins. B-Hop would give you a straight right hand. He would shoot the hand off the angle this way, and then also B-Hop would he would throw the right hand and dive in, so it would smother any counter you have.
Yeah.
Leo threw three of the same. It wasn't just that he threw three, but he threw them all the same way. Yeah. And so you can't do that against a counter puncher with power. If he that last one, if he'd have thrown it and he'd have dove in, he'd have smothered that. The uppercut would have hit him on the hip because it wouldn't even came up. He would have smothered it.
Or
but
if
he didn't, but
threw it and got it back in time, he would have been okay. Just to put his hand back, he didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's kind of hard to but it was an uppercut. So even if he put his hand back, he got hit underneath. Right?
Well, if you'd have got the hand back, he would have.
With the elbow.
Yeah, he would have.
Potentially.
He didn't do that. Like, he threw that shit and it came back. And by the time he got it back, that should have.
And then, you know, Tank could have made the adjustment and then it could have been a liver shot. It could have went, instead of coming all the way up, that could have went to the body. To me, the best thing to do on a guy like Tank Davis is when you're in close proximity, it's best to smother him and come all the way in and close that distance. You can't give him that amount of distance to get that shot off. Yeah. When he's in that close enough proximity, you got to smother him. You got to smother him.
Just hug him, grab him.
Yeah. You got to smother that power. Now, I think Dev has the ability to do that. I don't think Garcia does because Garcia is so long and I think he's so overconfident in his speed that I see a lot of technical flaws with him on the defensive side. Offensively, he's beautiful.
So now we have to do the waiting game because what's his name? Campbell tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
So Ryan Garcia.
None of these guys are fighting each other in the next 2 years. None of them are gonna fight each other. Nope. Like I think Dev will ask for it. He won't get any of them. I think Dev needs to leave the zone. I think Dev needs to come to PBC. I know what Bill's trying to do.
Get the Ryan Garcia fight before he leaves.
No, I think Dev should go straight to PBC, and here's why. I think Dev should go to PBC because I think Al and all of them. Number one, it'll put a lot of pressure. Then you got Javante over there too. I understand why he doesn't because he feels okay. Javante signed with Floyd, but Floyd, you know, they would take Dev as well, and I think you put yourself in better position to get that fight with Tank if you're on the PBC side, as opposed to being somewhere else. The other thing why we go to PBC is those guys, if they can't get Tank, which, Floyd is managing his career, is only, is going to be very selective how he navigates Tank, then Dev will be next in line. So the people who can't get Tank right away, Dev, they become food for Dev, and it puts Tank in a position to where you got to fight Dev. Being over there on DAZN, this little off-brand stuff with Eddie Hearn is not going to work.